Okay, we're back. I'm going to draw the horizon line just kind of loosely from what I see, and then just pick out the main features that you see in the painting. So you're going to do a quick pencil sketch. You don't have to put much detail, and I would recommend drawing pretty lightly. You can even just make blobs for the treetops where you see them, and just even lines for the tree trunks. This tree has kind of a bit of a mound of dirt around it, and then these right here are actually the shadows. That's how Van Gogh drew the shadows coming off of the trees. He wanted to show that the shadows had a bit of a kind of bluish lavender tint to them. So that's what that is there. So you'll see some bigger trees, some smaller trees in the distance. I'm going to do this really quickly just not to take too much time with my video. But you're able to see where the trees go. They're all twisted and knotted in their trunks, and so don't worry too much about getting them perfect either. And the shadows kind of come off the trees to the side. Okay, and then you'll see back behind the trees, there's a little bit of a mountain range going on there. This was actually the view that Van Gogh had from his hospital window. He was in a mental hospital in South France, and so this was some of the grounds around the hospital and what he could see, and he became really, really fascinated with the different colors of olive trees set against the sky. So once you have this down, you're going to take your oil pastels and work on this optical blending. Now, like I said, I only have, unfortunately, bright green and bright yellow. What I would do if I were you is I would start with the yellow in the sky, and you're going to make it like hatching lines. If I had a white oil pastel, I would take my white then and I would go in with the white oil pastel and but I would lay that white color next to the yellow to create the combination. Now, if you look at his sky here, around the sun, there is a lot more white showing through nearer the sun to create that highlight. And then as you get further away from it, the yellow gets a bit more prominent, and it's kind of like a brownish yellow. So if there's a light brown or a yellow ochre in your pack of oil pastels, you could also blend that in with it, or lay that next to it. And then if you get into the trees, you'll see that it's kind of like green, gray, and brown tones next to each other. So I'll take my green, and again, I'm just going to use hatching to show the direction of the lines, and I'll start by just going in with one color with the green, laying in those lines in the same direction. And then Van Gogh, he swirls his lines, so it's hatching there. It's not cross hatching, they're not overlapping, but they're swirling in different directions to show movement and motion. So that you can do the same thing. You can take your green, and to create that movement and motion, you can swirl your colors around. And let's just say that I had a little bit of yellow in my trees, which this painting really doesn't, but since I'm down to two colors, I could then go in and I could lay that second color in next to it. Now, if the colors blend a little bit while you're laying them side by side, that's fine. In fact, that's great. So just because we're not blending doesn't mean the colors can't mix together and blend. It just means we're not blending them completely. So if they still mix and overlap a bit, that creates nice effects, and that's totally fine. With optical mixing, it doesn't mean they don't blend at all. It just means they don't blend completely and become smooth. Those lines and those colors mixed together are still visible next to each other. Okay? So you can work on this today in class. I'd love to see this when I get back the following Tuesday. And we're going to do a little bit more with Impressionism. And then we'll have one last project to carry us out through the end of the school year. All right, great. Good luck, guys.